What if you woke up tomorrow and discovered that Nazi Germany had won World War II? No allies, no German defeat, and no world as we know it today. What would have happened to Europe? To America? To the Soviet Union? And most importantly, what would our world look like in 2026? In history, there are moments that could have changed everything. World War II wasn't just a conflict between armies. It was a struggle that could have completely changed the future of civilization. But what if something had gone differently? What if Britain had fallen? What if the United States had entered the war differently? And what if Germany had managed to defeat the Soviet Union? In this fictional scenario, we're going back to 1940 and building an alternate world step by step. But remember, this is a fictional scenario, not what actually happened. 1940. Germany controls large parts of Europe. France has fallen, and Britain has become the main obstacle to German expansion. In our real history, Germany failed to defeat Britain, and the war began moving in a different direction. But in this scenario, Germany succeeds in forcing Britain to accept a peace agreement. Suddenly, the balance of power changes completely. Germany is no longer fighting a powerful Western front. Instead, it can focus almost entirely on the East. Then comes 1941. Germany launches a massive invasion of the Soviet Union. But this time, several factors are different. Better supplies, different military decisions, and delays in the Soviet ability to reorganize its forces. As time passes, German forces advance toward key strategic centers. Eventually, the Soviet Union collapses as a unified military power. And now the most terrifying phase of this alternate world begins. Germany controls most of Europe, but it faces a new question. Can it actually dominate the world? In the West, the United States still exists, and it possesses enormous economic and military power. But it is facing a completely different world. Europe is no longer its ally. Britain is no longer a powerful base for a war against Germany. And the Soviet Union no longer exists as a superpower. And so, a completely different Cold War begins. Instead of the United States versus the Soviet Union, the main rivalry could become the United States versus Germany, a world divided into two powerful blocs. And from here, we reach the biggest question. What would the year 2026 look like? Perhaps Europe's borders would be completely different. Perhaps the languages, cultures, and politics of many countries would have changed. Perhaps the United Nations would never have existed in the form we know today. Perhaps even the space race would have taken a completely different path. But there is something far more important. The Nazi regime was a dictatorship built on racism, persecution, and genocide. So a German victory in this scenario would not simply mean different borders on a map. It could mean the continuation of widespread persecution and mass atrocities. And that's when we realize something important. History isn't just a collection of dates. One decision, one battle,